Hello, Dragon Warriors. Tamara here, Chief Dragon Officer at the Dragon Academy, where we study movements to help us develop mindfulness. This is the third video I'm talking about defining mindfulness. And the reason I'm doing this is because it's such a minefield for people. And I really want to honor all those ancient contemplative traditions where people have really studied and thought and organized and shared some very, very deep and rich trainings on the topic of mindfulness. But I'm speaking to everyday people, secular practitioners of mindfulness, people that are just working in everyday life that may struggle to make contact with some of those teachings, or it may not be appropriate or appealing for you. So I've given two other videos where I've talked about some frameworks that we can use to understand what is mindfulness. And so in this video, I'm going to talk through one of the definitions of mindfulness that really seems to be the one that the scientific community, and particularly my community, which is clinical psychology and research into how we can use mindfulness-based interventions to help people with mental health challenges. And after much debate, the Mindfulness Initiative here in the UK, and I'll put the link down below, they settled on one particular definition of mindfulness. And this was one from Jon Kabat-Zinn, who some people consider to be sort of the father of mindfulness here in the West, because he did some of that really seminal work and research in the US on mindfulness-based interventions for pain. So this is his definition. I'm going to say it really slowly. Let the words land in your mind and see how that sounds to you. So mindfulness is a type of awareness, that arises when we're paying attention on purpose, moment by moment, and without judgment. So you can perhaps see from that definition, there's actually quite a lot going on there in a moment of mindfulness. And this is why we have to train. Yeah, this is why we have to train. So it's a type of an awareness. So it's maybe a state of being in the world. How do we get to that state? Paying attention on purpose, moment by moment. So there's some sort of monitoring going on. Paying attention on purpose, moment by moment, without judgment. Ooh, there's another element that we need to bring in there. The non-judging element, the how of mindfulness. So when I first read that definition, I thought, yes, I can speak English. Yes, I know what all those words mean. But I wasn't at that point really a mindfulness practitioner. So I didn't really have a sense of what happens when all those conditions come together to create this state called mindfulness. So back in the early days, when I was first qualified as a clinical psychologist, I took that definition and I de-chunked it, because I thought, well, hang on a minute, I really want to study each of these different elements through the lenses that are my training, which is psychology, clinical psychology, martial arts, neuroscience. What does it mean paying attention? What does it mean moment by moment? What does it mean without judgment? And that actually was the starting point for the program that I developed called Body and Mind Training, which you can get on the Dragon Academy app, where I de-chunked all of those elements and tried to explore them through the neuroscience lens, through the martial arts lens, through the movement lens, in order to really access in a deep embodied way, what is this thing we call mindfulness, and how can we bring it into our lives, and how can we get those benefits of improved attention, better emotion regulation, better able to stay on track with what's important, and the ability to develop self-compassion. And from the clinical studies, we know that it's particularly that last point, the development of self-compassion, that really, really transforms our experience of who we are and how we relate to the world and each other. So I hope that was useful, and go on and explore paying attention on purpose, moment by moment, and without judgment in your life. And let me know how you get on in the comments. And if you want to dive deeper, download the Passion.io app and search for Dragon Academy, and let's dive in and have some fun training together.